With astronauts constantly aboard the International Space Station, inspiring the world, doing science, and enjoying the views, what happens when something breaks or their oxygen starts to run low? What happens if there's too much trash on the station? They can't just go back to Earth for a supply run to the grocery store. Instead, space agencies have developed automated cargo ships to send them supplies. The first of these was the Russian Progress cargo freighter. Since January 1978, these spacecraft have been sending food and equipment to outposts such as Soyuz, Mir, and the International Space Station. For nearly as long as there have been space stations around, there has been a need to resupply them. Progress was the first space freighter designed and built for the sole purpose of topping off food, water, and fuel for off-world outposts. The first space station this expendable freighter serviced was Salyut 6, which was also the first outpost with more than one docking port. To simplify the design and construction, Progress vehicles are derived from the crewed Soyuz spacecraft. It has a propulsion module, a refueling module, and a cargo module. However, these three sections aren't designed to separate during reentry like the Soyuz. Overall, the vehicle is 7.2 meters long and 2.7 meters wide. Its solar panel wingspan is 10.6 meters. It can carry a maximum of about 2,400 kilograms of supplies, consumables, and experiments to the outpost. The cargo module is similar to the Soyuz orbital module. It has a docking port up front with equipment to support autonomous rendezvous and docking. It holds pressurized cargo including experiments, supplies, and sometimes most importantly, fresh fruit. In total, it has about 6 cubic meters of cargo space and can hold about 1,700 kilograms. The refueling module replaces the descent module of the Soyuz, as no people return in this spacecraft. As such, unnecessary equipment such as heat shields, parachutes, explosives that allow for tri-module separation, etc. are removed, saving weight. This section could carry about 1,740 kilograms of fuel, oxygen, and water to the space station, depending on how much cargo is in the cargo module. The propulsion module is used for rendezvous as well as deorbiting. While docked to a space station, it can help raise the outpost orbit if needed. Like Soyuz, this part contains instruments for temperature control and equipment for communications, power, and telemetry. Also like Soyuz, Progress has been upgraded since the first models in the 1970s. It is currently on its 5th major revision, Progress MS. As of 2017, nearly 160 of these spacecraft have resupplied the Salyut 6, Salyut 7, Mir, and International Space Stations. Special variations have even brought small space station modules to the ISS, Pirs and Poisk. Progress cargo ships launch from Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan using the Soyuz launcher. It can arrive at a space station in as little as 6 hours and remain attached for up to 6 months. In Progress's nearly 40-year history, only 3 have failed to reach their destination. In August 2011, Progress M12M failed to reach orbit after the Soyuz rocket's 3rd stage cut out before entering orbit. Progress M27M lost control and ran out of fuel after a collision between it and the 3rd stage of the carrier booster in May 2015. And finally, in December 2016, Progress MSO4 failed to reach orbit after a premature shutdown of the carrier rocket's 3rd stage. In all of these cases, the fault was not in the spacecraft itself, but the booster carrying it to space. The only major non-launch related incident came in 1997. While Progress spacecraft generally automatically dock to space stations, there is a capability on board the station for the crew to take manual control in the event of an emergency. On June 24, 1997, during the test of this manual docking system, the Mir space station crew made a miscalculation in the speed and distance Progress M34 was from the outpost. As such, the freighter collided with Mir, damaging the Spectre module, causing it to depressurize. The crew was able to seal off the module from the rest of Mir, however, Spectre was never occupied again. Despite decades of reliable service, Progress's time sending cargo to the space station may come to an end in the next 10 years, as Russia is currently looking to replace the storied cargo craft with an unpiloted version of the country's next crewed spacecraft called Federation. Thanks so much for watching. Head over to our website and you'll find plenty more information about all things space related, including articles, photography, and a database of launch vehicles and spacecraft and more. We do our best to bring you as much information about the space industry to make you the insider. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. SpaceFlight Insider is primarily a volunteer organization. However, in order to provide you with the best possible coverage, that requires dollars. We've done a lot with very little up to this point, but that won't be enough to accomplish our long-term goals. That is why we've started a Patreon account. If you haven't heard of Patreon, it's a simple way for you to contribute to our coverage of the space industry every month and get exclusive rewards like these people. Head over to patreon.com/spaceflightinsider to find out more.